Now, there are several steps to creating a LAN or SSID, and they must be done in order in our autonomous AP. They have to be done in order. So I want you to get your pen and paper out, or your pencil and paper out, and write down what is the first step. I have my autonomous AP. I have it all set up. I'm logged in. I'm ready to go. What's the first thing I should do to set up a LAN or SSID on that autonomous AP? Go ahead and pause your video now. I will give you the answer in a few moments. So pause, write down your answer. All right, hopefully you've finished. You've written down your answer. Let me give you the first step. The first step to this creation is you need to create a VLAN. And this VLAN has to be available on your wired side as well. So more than creating a VLAN, you're actually going to get that autonomous AP configured for that VLAN. You're going to go to services, VLAN, create the necessary VLAN for the eventual SSID. That's your first step. So what are you doing next? What's next on the list? Set your encryption. That's step 2. Set your encryption. So for step 2, you need to set the encryption by going to security and then encryption manager within your autonomous AP. Now I want to ask, what's the third step? What do we do after we set up encryption? Go ahead and pause the video now and write in your answer. Step number 3. All right, hopefully you had enough time to answer that question. So we've created a VLAN, we've set up encryption. What do you think our next step is? Our next step is to create that SSID. We now need to create the SSID. We can do this through our security tab and SSID manager. We click new, enter the name for the SSID, associate that with the VLAN, and select the radio interfaces to be used with the SSID. So great. We're halfway there. We're halfway done. So go ahead and tell me, what is the fourth step in this process? Pause the video now. The fourth step in this process is enable authentication for the SSID. Now we are going to enable authentication. If you're using Radius or WPA2 pre-shared key, it's different for each of these. So what's next? We've enabled authentication for the SSID. I want you to tell me what's step number 5 in this process of setting up a wireless LAN for an autonomous AP. What do I do next? Go ahead and pause your video now. Give me the answer. And now here's the answer. We are going to enable the SSID to be broadcast. So now that those clients that are in the area will be able to see the SSID as advertised. All right, what's the last step in all of this? After we've finished all that we set out to do, what's next? What's the last thing we do in order to finish setting up this SSID or LAN, wireless LAN for our environment? We need to configure the radio settings and enable the radios, folks, for our autonomous AP. Great job, everyone. Let's move on to our next exercise.